Needs to do something else, and we have been believing so much on agriculture. So as I welcome you today, we want to look at how you as Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Delta State, how will you rate the agricultural activities, agricultural activities last year amidst COVID-19 pandemic, and with this second wave, that's what they call it, second wave we have now in Nigeria. How we rate the progress that we have so far with the second spark?
Well, and how prepared are you?
Yeah, first of all, let me thank you for having me this morning.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the government of Nigeria, missed the opportunity when oil was actually booming. We're not supposed to forget about agriculture, because in order for a nation to advance, we have to tap every resources to make sure that all of them are moving on, the same level. And if we've done that, I'm sure that today Nigeria would have been a very, very great country.
Okay.
The world power would have even been afraid of us, because we have the potentials, we have the resources. Name it. I don't think what we have, America have it. Israel, a small nation, doesn't have what we have. This is a country, if you eat pineapple, mango, or any fruit straight on the street, it will grow and germinate without even caring for it. You start plucking, harvesting your fruits. So, in respect of your question of how we prepared for what we did last year and how we prepared for the second wave.
Yes, your activities for last year.
Yes, last year it was excellently good.
Okay.
Because the program we ran through last year with the help of the executive governor, who actually wanted to improve on agriculture, he met words with action by making sure that all our programs gave all the approval, and all of them are functioning very well.
Okay.
Before the lockdown came, we have already approved a budget, and when the issue of coronavirus and the lockdown and every other thing that came in, because of the reduction in oil price, which now affects the economy, every government from federal to state decided to downsize their budget.
Okay.
And we're asked to revert, bring our budget, give us another ceiling to everybody to reduce their budget size. But because of the love and also the importance of agriculture, the governor said that, look, Agric should not be touched. So our budget throughout last year, it was not touched.
Wow.
So we have a full budget. The very first one that was approved was the budget we ran through the year. And again, all the major activities, all our major program, the governor gave approval to all of them, and all of them, they are running very well.
So how robust is the budget for this year, 2021?
The budget this year is also very robust. So, in fact, almost, I would say higher than last year.
Okay.
Why I say that is that because there are so many other programs which we are also going to run in addition with what we have in the budget.
Okay.
The budget is about 2.something billion.
Wow.
Then we have again another approval from CBN, because the state government requested for a loan for agricultural accelerated agricultural development scheme, which is AADS, which the CBN approved, and the loan has gotten to the other state. Currently, we finished everything about the program, so we are going to hit the ground running in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So with that is about also 1.1 billion. So if you add that to what we are going to run, so that's why I'm saying that this year budget, or what we are going to do this year,
I'm going to work closely with you.
If I see the one of last year. And again, apart from that, we have some other program. Right now, we are also expecting that we are going to do a program on AUD in Nepal, which is Africa Development Union in Nepal, which we've been going to Abuja for the past 1 month or so to package the program,
Wow,
which is also going to enhance agricultural productivity in Delta State.
Wow, that's interesting.
And a couple of other
Programs lined up.
yes, lined up.
Okay, that's good. How prepared we are with this second wave of COVID-19. It's a good thing that the budget is better than last year.
Yes, African Union Development Agency.
Okay.
A new partner initiative for African development.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. They are packaging a program where about 22 states that are involved. So Delta State is part of it.
So will it run off, is it a yearly thing or?
Yeah, that program I think is for about 10 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Well, that's a long time.
Yes, but about 10 years running. So we want to start this year now.
So what's the offer of the program? What do we seek? What do you think? What would be the achievement really?
It's a counterpart funding arrangement. You know, every state will provide what they have as counterpart fund. Then AU will double it. Then it's in the area you decide, because area of comparative advantage to each state. Whatever you feel that you can do well, do better, you make proposal for such things. As in Delta State, we are into cassava, aquaculture, poultry, piggery, just like that. So we have made our proposed budget, so submitted our budget, and within the next couple, we will take every budget of the 22 states to African Union, whereby they will deliberate on it and approve and send back to us for the program to start.
That's a good initiative, a beautiful one. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to still look. I know we are in COVID-19 era, and as we look at what is happening right now, it kind of is affecting the entire economy, every sector, right? Like we know that food must be on our table, and that's why we keep looking at agriculture and seeing how, in spite of everything that's happening, will still agricultural sector will still boom and grow as it is. So coming to Delta State now, it's we've come to find out still that Delta State is gender sensitive, with more males as it is. I was discussing with you this morning before you came on, sir. I was actually arguing that I think more females are in the agricultural sector, but the records show it that we have more males, yes, more males than females participating in agricultural production here in Delta State. So how will you speak to this, sir? You know, in them days we used to really believe the women farm more.
Yes.
Then days, but these days
I think it's still the same. I don't think there are more men in agriculture than women. Because
statistics.
Records.
I wanted to give us records, statistics.
I should give you records, or you have records.
Communities say if they have more females. So,
no, there are more female in agriculture than male.
Than males.
That is the truth. Because if you look at the value chain, is it in processing or in production? Even in production, there are more female.
Agricultural production.
There are more female because the more you see the program, the aspect they are participating is maybe in the area of livestock program.
Okay.
If not in crop production or in crops, there are more female in crops.
Oh, okay.
You see in cassava, there are female in cassava. More female. In fact, I don't see men even doing cassava.
Seriously?
I'm telling you.
But I know male doing fish farming and all of that.
Yes. In cassava production, there are more female. Go to their rural areas, you see that in those days, what men do is to go and do farm for their wives, and after that they go and sleep.
And they leave the women.
And leave the women to do all of every other one. Perhaps the only area you see men more is in the area of oil palm production.
Okay.
But again, also women involved, because in the processing, women also assist the men to do the processing. You know, in Delta State, there are more female in agriculture than the male.
So I beat you to it, do you?
Actually, where you will have more maize in the area of, again, is in the area of young production.
Okay.
That is where you have more than male. If not, in vegetable, female. In cassava, female. Name it. There are more female there.
women are strong.
Okay, let's look at the area of fish farming. Well, we just talked about it and livestock, and we say that there are more men doing that, and crop farming as well. Now let's look at both of them. Do you think any of them is on the decline? Do you think fish farming and livestock production are on the decline, while crop farming is the major interest?
Not really.
Okay.
That's why you are looking at it as if crop is on the
yes, crop farming.
Crop farming is because
I tried it
in crop you have more people that are involved than in aquaculture or in livestock.
That's true.
One of the major reasons is because in aquaculture and livestock you don't need large space of land in order to do your program, but in crop you need really large space of land to do your program. And apart from that, take for an example our program for last year, where we have okay, this is our 5-star program in Abraca.
Okay.
You know, where we are partnering with the Central Bank of Nigeria in order to produce cassava. This is about 1,000 hectares of farmland.
But it's still ongoing.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. This is just, they've planted about 500 hectares now, so they will resume planting immediately after the, well, I think they must have been on site now to start the planting of
what would be the harvesting procedure? Is it mechanized?
Everything is mechanized.
Okay, okay.
Everything is mechanized. These are the company that is doing the planting is, you know, I sent some persons from Abuja to come and check what is happening here.
Okay, where is this located? In
Abraca. There's a grassland, you know, just behind Abraca, as if you are going to that Abraca Benin Road.
Okay.
Just very close to the railway line there.
So everything about it here is mechanized.
Planting is mechanized.
So during harvesting as well,
it's
going to be
mechanized.
Yes. What about indigenes around there? So how
they have participants. Okay. We have indigenes because what happened is that in this program, each farmer will be given 5 hectares of land.
Okay.
Wow.
So they are not going to spend anything because the CBN has already spent all the money for the program in conjunction with state government. State government provided the land, providing security and also mapping to make sure that the farmland is mapped according to each farmers and given to the farmers. So that is what the state government is doing. This one, then we also have another one in Mosoga. That one is about 1,500 hectares.
Mosoga?
Wow.
Yes. And currently is
on cassava.
On cassava. The clearing of the land, they also start planting it at Mosoga.
Okay. I'm actually thinking of, you know, when you said that that the indigents, some would have, you know, particular
portions of the land.
Yeah, that's the program.
How is it done? How is it
apportioned?
Yeah, apportioned. You know, is it by local government?
No. You see, it is a program which the CBN is also doing with the Cassava Grower Association with the state government. So a list of farmers across the state have been produced.
Okay.
You know, we and Cassava Grower Association will combine to produce the list, which will send also to their national office, and then they will review the list with CBN, then send back to us. Then we will now divide the land. You know, 5,000 hectares 5 hectares per farm.
Okay, now talking about the land being mechanized now, you know, sometimes when you grow cassava beans, weeds comes up and it's still being mechanized to weed the.
If you look at that video, you can see that there is no sign of weed there.
How do they do
before planting, they will use herbicides. First of all, spray herbicides on the farmland to suppress the weed. And then before they start planting. Then subsequently, when the crop start growing, then if there is any weed coming out, they will apply a second phase, a second round. And before they will grow to harvesting stage, you know, see weed on the ground.
Okay. Wow. I'm actually also thinking that Joy, do you want me to
go on?
Okay, I'm actually thinking as well that irrigation farming is also very key. We have some riverine areas and all that have been underutilized. So what do you have to say about that, really?
I don't think we have where that is underutilized in Delta State in terms of river or swampy area. It's not been underutilized because most of our aquacultural activities have been practiced in swampy area, very close to the coast region, and upland here where you have river, like the fish farm cluster we have at Kamsa before along our way there. It's close to the river, so we are utilizing every aspect of our swampy area. Perhaps the only thing we'll say, we have we need to upscale it to make sure that Delta State, in terms of aquaculture, is going to be the hub of aquacultural program in Nigeria, and that is what we are trying to do. And the state governor too is also trying to assist us in that direction by making sure that, like last year now, we have quite a number of fish farmers that we are also assisting in our aquacultural program, and we have also upscaled in this year budget to make sure that we give our farmers all that they need to make sure that they improve in our aquacultural program. Yes. Again, in the AADS, which is the agricultural program that we want to run.
AADS.
Yes, we have is meant for aquaculture and vegetable. So yes, only, and that is the program of about 1.5 billion. So if we do that, I'm sure that
I'm a farmer.
You need some grants.
Once that program start, I'm sure that
I'm commissioner's aide for now.
Delta State
comes to the AADS.
Delta State will be number one in aquaculture program in Nigeria.
Okay, let's talk about our rural farmers and credit facilities. To what extent is the government, helping them? Because you talked about while you were talking, you talked about some farmers being mapped out in this program that we just saw. So the rural farmers and credit facilities.
Well, all our programs are actually geared towards assisting our rural farmers, because you don't have farmers in urban areas. If you think of farmers in urban areas, that is portfolio farmers, and
mechanized.
We don't want portfolio farmers. So most of our farmers actually are in the rural areas, because in crop production they are in the rural areas. Perhaps skeletal ones that you see maybe when people have vegetable farm in their, which is what garden farm.
I love garden farm, vegetable farm.
Yes, so, but it actually the real farmers, they are in the rural area, and the state is trying to also assist them in every way we can. Most of our intervention programs, in order to assist our farmers in getting credit facilities, is geared towards the rural farmers. Take this program I'm talking about now, the 5-star Kaswa program. They are from the rural area, because somebody who is living in Asaba cannot go to Abraga to go and farm.
That's true.
Somebody from here can't go to Mosuga, Nubakele to go and farm. It must be either there or close to the place. And that is the only way you can, apart from the security we have provided, that is the only way you can also secure the farm. Because when the people with indigenous see that this is their farmland, they will own it to make sure nothing happens to them. Yes. Whatever money is being spent on the program, there is a loan, because they will also pay back. After the harvest, the government or CBN will take whatever they spend on it, then the profit go back to them. So in our aquacultural program, the same thing. We give them soft loans to increase their farming
feed
activities.
the world's population,
Also in livestock,
provide industrial raw materials,
throughout last year, all that
more
we
people
did was
into
to
its
assist farmers
workforce
in
than
the area
most
of
other
livestock
industries.
production, fish farming, and also in cassava. We, as a state, we did about 500 hectares for our farmers, 1 hectare per farmer last year. And the program is running very well as it is now.
Okay, it's also very key to talk about agriculture and of course Africa's economy. And we do know that before now it was always oil all the time, and now people are talking about agriculture. Now, do you think in terms of productivity and efficiency we're doing well?
Yes, from what I've been saying, you will know that we are doing well. Generally,
okay.
We are doing extremely well. There is no inefficiency as a state because I told you that the state government is doing the very best it can to make sure it assists our farmers to get soft loan in order to increase their farming activities, and they are actually keen to that program.
Okay.
Many are coming up, and this year now we will soon go out to make sure that all that we have in terms of assisting our farmers in credit facility, roll them out, and I'm sure by the end of the year you will see that our activities are really upscaled.
Okay.
Okay, well, still talking about progress, and like I agree with you, sir.
Information is key.
We are progressing.
This realization
okay, we just saw some
set
clips
Dr.
over there. You know, you talked about crop production. We've been looking at that massive land where the CBN brought some money in conjunction with government.
A program. Okay, the next program which took place at event center. So
recently.
This was our tractor program. The state government acquired about 20 tractors which they gave out and all that.
I mean, the outlook for 2021 is going to be robust.
Yes.
His Excellency is actually doing his bit.
He's doing his bit and helping to grow agricultural sector in Delta State. Yes. Now let's go on to see how can rural purchasing power. We've been looking at the rural populace anyway.
No, I will say something about information of.
Yes. How are they informed? Most farmers out there, you know, they do not understand how to store their vested products. And again, want to talk about, you know, fertilizer. They do not even know how to apply them. Some know, some do not know. So how are you actually bringing them up to speed?
The rare potentials for crops and livestock
we
to
have
strive favorably, working through the
to
Ministry of
market
Agriculture and Natural Resources and the
program
Youth Agriculture Entrepreneurship Program of YAGEP under the Job and Wealth Creation.
We roll out flyers
Okay.
and also some publication in order to give to our farmers. And outside this, we have the arm of the ministry that's also responsible for advising farmers, which is the extension arm of the ministry, which is being handled by DADA, formerly known as ADP.
Okay.
Where you have recently the state government employed by 100 extension officers, in addition to the previous one we have before. So these extension agents, they go out to advise our farmers on best farming practices.
Okay.
And every other information the farmers need in order to make sure that their farming activities improve. They do advise them from time to time. In terms of area maybe where you need advice on how you are going to the package of farming activities where you have flooding. Also, we'll let them know that the time to plant and the time to harvest, so that when flood comes, you would have pulled out of the area. That also is also part of the activities being carried out by the extension officers. Then in storage, they also tell them how to store their produce. But again, because we are not advanced in the act of the area of processing,
the states bequeathed
so
on it
if not,
the rare
most of our
potentials for crops and livestock to strive favorably, working through the Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources
but
and
we
the
are
Youth
trying to do the
Agriculture.
very best we can currently to make sure that we also add processing as part of every program we are running. The AUDA program that we are trying to do processes as an aspect of it to make sure that all the produce that will come we also have some a section of the people who will be engaged or involved in processing. Because when you process and package, you have actually hit the farming activities at the full circle to make sure that everything you produce,
the marketing will be easy.
Will be easy.
Okay.
So that is what we are trying to do.
That's good. I saw a clip there on the piggery not too long, and
yes.
You know, we talked more about what Delta State does, kind of things to produce.
We have a lot of revolving programs.
Some people believe we focus more on
officer.
Some people believe we focus more on cassava production and all of that. How is piggery farming here in Delta
provision of
State?
soft loans are some of the support from the state government that has reflected bountifully on food security. Positively alter the state's
progressing because though recently we have an outbreak of
it's not just the jobs for the farmers.
The pig
jobs now are indirect.
It has been curtailed now. So the state government is trying to see how farmers will be assisted for the loss they incurred during that period. And in this year's budget we have also a program for pig expansion.
So it has created jobs for handymen, those working in farms.
Farmers benefit from whatever we are doing this year in agriculture.
It's interesting. Okay, let's go on. How can the rural purchasing power, as it is, how can it affect the industrial sector?
Yes, because the more they produce, the more people buy.
When there is money in the hands of the rural people, then they tend to purchase goods, purchase food items, also increase their demand for services. Then there is a tendency that the supply of foodstuff and other services will also increase. And once that increases, then there is that tendency that there will be more production of goods and services, both food and other things. Because when that in fact, once there is purchasing power in the hands of the rural area, it then goes to show that the economy is growing.
It's growing, really. I agree.
If our rural folks, our rural farmers are having money in their account, are having money in their hand to buy food, also demand for some other services, which is what I call restricted to people who are in urban areas. It therefore means the economy is growing. And once the economy grows and there is that demand for goods and services, then it will lead to spring up of industries in order to produce more goods for our rural people and our populace to enjoy. So
okay, I'm actually thinking, I would say agriculture is key, and it's very important. It's a mainstay of any economy, and this is global. It's not just in Nigeria, especially when we look at what is happening now in terms of the pandemic that nobody ever envisaged would happen. So people at home, the only thing they depended on was food, and it's time to actually look inward and see what you produce to actually purchase same. Now I'm looking at the civil service sector. Before now, they say civil servants don't work. You don't have to work. It has to be, don't do any other job besides the civil service job, but they allow you to farm. Okay, that's about, you can have your own mini kind of farming. But don't you think it's actually very important to have a program to key civil servant into, more like a partnership with, agriculture, like your ministry, so that it's important that each civil servant run a farm, have a farm as well? Because we're not looking at just, the rural area. The urban area used to be very, yes, it's luxurious. We're looking at material things and all that. We're looking at ready-made food and all that.
Considering
but this time,
the low interest
we want
rates,
to produce.
They don't help so much. They help us
to be a producing state, as it were, so we don't depend. Now, our civil servants, white-collar job and all that, are we, thinking ahead to look at the point where civil servant will actually have partnership with the ministry so that they can also run their own farm, like a compulsory thing?
Well, I don't think that might be possible because it will also affect them in their
official duties.
Yes, duties, because farming, when you take crop for an example, you go to farm early in the morning before the sun will come, perhaps you're already pulling out.
They can have some persons in their employ to do all that for them.
Yes.
And on the
I agree with you. Yeah, there is no rule that says civil servants should not farm. Currently, what we are doing in the ministry is for everybody. So if you want to key into our program once we advertise, we don't screen you because you are civil servant, so you don't farm.
So you can be part of it.
You can be part of it. So if you know you can manage your work and the farm, fine.
Okay, sir. So if you
that's why we said if you have your little garden behind your house, fine, you can take care of that garden early in the morning, then you go to work.
But I think what he's talking about is a bigger farm, not just a little garden like our parents used to have when we were growing up.
Make
now.
It compulsory. Let's get in the business of it. Like
you can harvest and sell and make some money from it.
They had this program in school, secondary school. I remember.
It's
compulsory that you must farm, and they want to see what you have there on the farm. You should build rich. I know then I used to build rich. They tell you this is your farm. Even if you're sweating, you're doing it, but they don't do it anymore.
Yes, in schools we have a program we want to run this year with the Ministry of Basic Education.
Okay.
We've selected some schools. We want to use as a pilot phase project on that program to make sure that schools are involved in farming, and that has been we're already perfecting it. So we'll start very soon.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So still looking at civil servants and
I don't think there will be any policy to make sure that civil servants are compared to go into farming. I doubt.
Okay.
But if they want to be involved, the ministry also assists them to make sure that they get whatever they want to.
Okay, I am a civil servant as it is. We're not talking about all of the civil servants going into farming as it is. There are some that are interested or want to do some little garden and make some money from it and have food on their table, not going to buy gari, not going to buy things like okra, not going to buy some little things that you need, they farm themselves. Will it be possible for the agricultural sector, the Ministry of Agriculture, to, when they say they need a loan, will you approve and give to them because they're
what you are saying now, they might, because once you get a loan for such a program, it ever means you are going in a large scale sort of. Because the small scale you want to do, you might not be able to get what it will enable you to pay back. Because when you do a small garden in your backyard, how much are you going to get? So
for sustenance.
Yes, okay, for sustenance.
So you don't buy food stuff.
You don't buy food stuff, so you produce for your self-consumption, subsistence. So we'll look at it. Maybe we'll see how we are going to make sure we partner with civil servants in order for them to go into full-scale farm.
Okay. So we're going on still. What sir, we would like to want to know quickly, because I know some people out there still will be interested in this part of this question. What community development agricultural programs as it is being put in place now for this year 2021 in the agriculture sector?
All our programs are community.
You've mentioned some, yes.
Yes. So this year we're also going to follow the pattern of last year, though this year we're upscaling the program, like the AU NEPAD program we are talking about is community based. The Life ND program, there's one other program sponsored by IFAD, Life, which is livelihood enhancement program, which is currently on. It's also community based. We pilot phases 10 local governments in Delta State. And in the 10 local government, we select 10 communities in each of the local governments. And those are community-based programs in order to assist rural farmers.
Okay.
So most of our interventions are actually really community-based programs.
That's nice. That's nice.
Okay, now what's the participatory level of leaders in the community in terms of this project you mentioned? There's one thing to get them together, the farmers that are in communities. What about the leaders there? How participatory are they when it comes to your programs?
Well, they are actually assisting us to a very large extent.
Okay.
When we had issue in this 5-star festival program in Abraka, when Presco came that the land belongs to them and all that, the royal father of Abraka in Oroarivi came out fully to make sure that that program is not obstructed. They went fully to go and meet Presco, all through, and at the end of the day, involved the state governor and CBN governor. Both their PG, President General, they were involved.
Okay.
And
That's
we were able
good.
to make sure that that issue is resolved. And at Mosoga too, the VF Mosoga is also backing us in making sure that the program succeeds.
Okay.
So in all the communities we have our programs, the leadership of the various communities are fully involved.
Okay.
No, that's
To
nice.
make sure that our program don't.
That's beautiful.
be
So quickly before we let you leave the studio, sir, your message, final message to farmers
Just
for
before-
more
just before we
resilience
take-
and commitment
Just before we
in
take on the
farming.
final message, I'm actually thinking, when we talked about finance, we talked about money, and they said that the budget is good, is robust. And
Better
we're
than
also,
last year.
yes, we're looking in the year 2021, let's look at other, areas that you think will make agriculture, what area merits consideration for now, besides the fact that capital is needed, so are there other areas, in your own opinion, or your own submission, you think would make agriculture better, just the way it should be 2021?
Well, with what we have, we are putting everything on the table to make sure that we pursue all our programs. We are not going to let any area to suffer.
Okay.
We will make sure that all our programs are running in this year.
In the new normal.
Yes, and we will scale all that. Maybe where we have lapses last year, we are going to correct them this year to make sure that our programs run.
That would be
We're
nice.
also looking at, because we have kind of not looked at the area of yam production. We're also still looking at how we are going to bring yam production on board to make sure that
Oh, that's nice.
farmers who are yam producers also benefit from our program this year.
That's
We'll
good.
certainly do that.
That's good. So what the year 2021 looks very, very good for
Very
us.
good.
And the
Plenty of
agricultural
food.
sector.
It's like the year of basket of food.
In Delta State, we won't lack food at all. So quickly, sir, before you leave, your message, that important message to farmers for more commitment, for more resilience.
Yes, my message to farmers is for them to remain steadfast, be committed to whatever they are doing, and they should never see government assistance to them as a part of the national
And remains
cake in order
a major
for them to collect the money and not going to farm. They should take the money and make use of it, and believe that also they will also pay back. Then any area that is grant, which is a grant to them, they should see it as a privilege for them, because there are so many other people who want to benefit, and for them to have been choosing to benefit from such programs, they should see it as a privilege and take it extremely seriously.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Keep doing what you were doing. You're
It's a
doing a good
pleasure
job
to
there.
have
So we've been speaking with the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources here in Delta State,
Mr. Julius
Egbedi.
Egbedi.
Thank you, sir, for coming to talk with us today.
Thank you so
And
much. My
we want
pleasure.
to know that with you on board, there will be plenty of food in Delta State. So
Besides,
thank
Joy, you and I were already farmers. You were
Yes,
also
we get
eaters,
little
so let's
loan.
see
No,
how-
come, we'll give you.
Okay, that's nice for encouraging us.
Just apply. We'll make sure
I'm going to
that.
apply. That's what we say about learning. You teach us everything. What
You
and
tell
what
us
we
what
should
to do and how
step
to
by
go about
step.
Morning Bright continues on Delta Television. Don't go away. Stay with us.